Welcome back to musicmoose.org. If you've been keeping up with the guitar series here, we're very happy you've been tuning in, and we hope it's all working out for you. I've been explaining phrasings, crossing over into different styles with certain phrasings in the last couple sessions here. And this time, I want to maybe explain a little bit about starting to build some leads from taking examples of phrasings and riffs from different songs. And we're hoping that with these lessons, you're also delving into other avenues, books, videos, tapes, downloading things off the net, and just trying to expand your knowledge. And we're hoping at this point perhaps some of you intermediate players are reaching the point where maybe you've got 5 or 6 flat picking tunes down perhaps, or even if you just have 2 or 3 or even 1 or 2. Want to kind of explain about the taking a certain riff from a tune, right, and using that over a certain chord change. Now, I know I haven't actually played some of these tunes, but we're hoping that you're familiarizing yourself with them. If you're playing the bluegrass style guitar, flat picking, trying to pick out fiddle tunes and things like that, it can be an awful lot of fun. And just wanted to touch on learning how to improvise over a song that maybe perhaps you've never played before, and you're jamming along with your friends, and it's your turn to play a lead. You've got the rhythm part down, perhaps you've got some G run, C run, D run type of thing down. You're just not sure how to start building a lead. And I think about 6 sessions ago, something like that, we were touching on, which I would call the beginning of the intermediate stage, I guess, would be trying to pick a guitar lead out from a vocal melody, which is another great way to try to expand your knowledge on picking out a lead. We had used a 9-pound hammer before the vocal line and trying to pick out a little basic lead on the vocal from the vocal melody. And that's one great way of trying to stay true to the song and not lose anybody too much to where they can't really understand what you're playing or what song you're playing. So we've given you examples of how to take a riff or a phrasing and cross it over into another style. And now I just want to show you basically taking some different riffs, borrowing riffs from different tunes to create a lead. Now, if I was to name a couple tunes in particular, at the very beginning of my instructional series, in my introduction, I did a tune called Salt Creek, which is a very popular flat picking or fiddle number in the bluegrass realm. Another one that I would recommend spending some time on would be Blackberry Blossom, which derives most of its lead work right from the G major scale, which we've been emphasizing on a lot, G runs and scales. So using those 2 particular tunes I mentioned as an example, just if I was to take one measure of a G chord, or let's go with 2 measures, we'll do 8 beats on a G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, say perhaps that's a half of a lead break in a song, and well, there's a lot of G there, and you're wondering what to do, how to get something going and make it interesting. Now, just for example, if I took the very beginning type of riff from the tune Salt Creek, and I played over the first couple beats of G. If I did this, you know, the little intro to Salt Creek would be, okay? If I was to just take, if I didn't go to that C note there, if I was to take the first couple notes of the Salt Creek intro, but change it a little, not go to the C, okay? There's just one example of a little something you could do in a measure of G. Now, if I was to take a little snippet of Blackberry Blossom, the phrasing you have learned from that type of tune. We know that if I was to do the first little half of the first part of the opening riff of Blackberry Blossom, I did the first half and then I added something to it. Just for instance, let's say I'm going to take very beginning riff of Salt Creek and then play the very beginning riff of Blackberry Blossom over a whole measure of G. 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't play it exactly the way it goes. You can see what I'm getting at. I'm using that little intro riff, which this type of riff is a pretty popular way to kick off a lead in open G. And so basically, right there I took two little riffs, changed them up a little bit, put them together, and you can see I created a nice little type of filler run. It wasn't exactly a G run, but it's just a mixture of some things, and I'm hoping you're getting the point here, the idea of taking certain parts of tunes and stringing them together to build some lead material. Get your fingers and your ears in tune and just have fun with it, as we always encourage you to do. And another thing that I haven't touched on before here, just briefly before I go, do a little promotion. Most of the instructors here at Music Moose, we all have different CD compilation, CD projects together that are out there that you're able to purchase. And I do have a website, billygilmore.com, and I have some material there for sale and some stuff you can just click on and listen to. A lot of projects I've been involved in of different styles. So you can hear different examples of a lot of styles that I like to play frequently, and check it out, and we hope we'll see you back here at Music Moose for the next session in Building Blocks of Improvising. Thanks a lot, friends. We'll see you next time at musicmoose.org.